Colorado's expensive, highly publicized firefighting helicopters are often sitting on the sidelines as wildfires burn. The inside story on this is one that the state fire agency really did not want you to know. So all the more reason for our 9 News Investigates team to share the internal report that outlines serious problems with that program. Here's Mark Salinger.
Colorado's grown tired recently of sharing federal firefighting helicopters with other states. So the state spent around $57 million over the past 5 years to buy 4 helicopters of their own. Just how useful they've been depends on who you ask.
We have fundamentally changed the way we approach wildfire in the state of Colorado. And that comes with growing pains.
Mike Morgan is the director of the Colorado Division of Fire Prevention and Control. Earlier this year, he commissioned an internal report on his department's HeliTAC program. 9 News obtained that report, detailing a scathing assessment of the state's firefighting helicopters. It concludes there's low morale, an overall lack of firefighting work, understaffed crews, and limited training opportunities, which have led to safety concerns.
It's a pain point, right, for me, and I think anybody and everybody that read that report, to see some of the obviously confusion and lack of communications in there. And it's my watch, it's my problem. I'll take full ownership for that, but also take full ownership, and I'm going to fix it.
We've bought multiple helicopters without a clear plan for where they would be located, how they would be housed, and how they will be fueled, one staff member writes in the report.
Why spend $57 million of public money if then you have a report that says internally that program isn't contributing to firefighting operations?
I guarantee you the investment in the helicopters will pay off tenfold in keeping fires from getting big and becoming $140 million Cameron Peak fires, right? The question is how the resources are all being staffed, managed, and applied.
Each of the Firehawk helicopters cost around $25 million. The state just had its second one delivered earlier this year. Yet the report details a lack of meaningful work for the Firehawks, saying the crews are often not very busy. The Firehawk has often been the background for press conferences from the governor. One crew member said, "It seems like we're just here for looks, rather than actually operating as firefighters."
I don't think it's a secret that you didn't want this report to be made public. You told your staff this week in an email that you were profoundly disappointed, and it's an unfortunate development that we found out about it. Why didn't you want it public?
I prefer, my path is I would prefer that we sit down, talk it through, and find a path forward.
I asked Director Morgan if we have another fire season like the historically bad one in 2020, does he feel like the helicopter program is ready to respond and fight these fires, considering everything that's exposed in this report? He responded that he has no doubt in his mind that they would be ready, Kyle.
Well, what a shame that you're sharing this with the public that paid for the helicopter. But so how many times has this thing actually flown? We've seen it in a number of photo ops.
So since last July, when they received it and started flying the first of the 2, we know that it's flown 24 times. We just got those numbers and still trying to go through them. But if you think back to times that it hasn't been flying, you remember those big wildfires on the western slope?
Yeah.
The main Firehawk, the only Firehawk that they had at the time, that was down for maintenance, planned maintenance, that they couldn't really do anything about. They say that it was unfortunate because then the delivery of the second Firehawk got delayed, so they were left with 0 Firehawks as some of the state's biggest wildfires in history burned earlier this year.
All right, Mark Salinger, thank you.